Let's talk about color picking. And you know, there's a lot of mistakes out there, misconceptions, a lot of ideas out there about color picking that is wrong. And if you're a beginner artist or you're a pro, we're going to be looking how to pick colors and some things you need to let go of. All the colors in the color wheel are important. Um, they're important because they have their values. Every color have its so they are all important. So the idea of picking color has been kind of over exaggerated, that today we have methods and different idea behind how you pick colors. Unfortunately, it's wrong. All the colors are important. The idea, there are some things you need to have in mind when picking color, and we're going to be looking at that today. So as we always do, the first thing we'll look at our objective. Number one, we'll look at how I approach choosing a color palette or picking color from the color wheel for us digital artists. Using values to guide color choices. Values are very important. It's the underlying fundamental behind how you choose your colors. We'll look at understanding warm and cool colors, balancing saturation and muted colors. Saturation, the intensity of the color. You look at what you are painting and you watch the intensity, how the saturation is playing in your painting. We'll also look at choosing color that work well together, how lighting affects color decision and color selection process when I paint, my color selection process. So we are going to be using this reference. It's a painting by John Singer Sargent, and just a quick one. So let's begin. How I approach choosing from the color palettes or the color wheel. So we have our color wheel. I said this in the last video. I said when I started painting, I won't mention the name of the instructor or the individual. Is a big instructor. I was told, you avoid colors from this range, these points here. Wherever you are picking color from the color wheel, I said avoid this point. And the reason he said it creates muddy painting. And after I started painting, and after a lot of those online courses, I realized I pick colors from here and they read. So I realized there was some things wrong with the explanation. All the colors are important, especially us digital artists. We have a lot of colors to play with, and the idea is not to avoid some colors. The idea is to know when to use them. So how my approach to choosing color. Now let's quickly look at this, our reference, so you see me do it in action. So I'm going to create a little canvas here and then a little quick sketch just to get the overall motion feel. It's just a quick sketch. You don't need to be overwhelmed with all the whole details there. Excuse me. You feel the hair pushing back, her ears are down here because her head, we're looking at her from a downward position. We're seeing her jaw hitting this point. We feel the brows, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, Just a quick sketch I'm working on here. Fill the hair. Push. Her neck. Her beads. Fill that form. Her clothes are here also. So you can easily see that. Just a quick one. So immediately we are done with that. We have our sketch. When we paint, I always talk about this, we can make measurement. So now if I'm painting this, we have flat oil here. Quickly we'll start dropping in some colors. Let me put it on a new layer. Start pushing in and dropping some colors. Now if you look at the color I just picked, it's not fully accurate with what you see there, but one thing you understand, the value works. The value works. And if you remember what we are talking about, one of the things we say we are going to see, using values to guide our color choices. And this is how my approach to picking color is. The color wheel is just, it's a color picker. Color picker pick colors from the page. The color wheel shows you all the color in different range. You have the opportunity to choose that. But because we have all this range, what then becomes important is value. Understanding the value. We are not just, since we have these myriads of color, this wide range, what we also understand is using the right value. We can take from that muddy part too and paint. You see, I'm picking colors even from the muddy side. Some yellow still from the muddy side, but I'm still watching what I'm painting. Remember, I push up now because I'm looking at the painting and I'm seeing at that point there's lights in those areas. So I'm pushing, coming back to the muddy side. I see as it goes up there is some brown there, and this is one thing about what I'm talking about, values. So it's not about the knowing the right points to pick colors. No, it's knowing we draw what we see. And so when artists were painting traditionally, then had to watch their color palettes, limited colors, and interpret what they see, but they still had to use values. So with full color range, it's not that we then go crazy with the whole thing. We still have to use value. Them using values at that time, it's not because the colors were limited, no, but it was the importance of what they were trying to paint. So I'm pushing now, still feeling the form. You can see the way I'm mixing my painting, covering that the sides of the painting. So I'm looking at the painting still on values. I'm seeing that this top side is darker, and if you look at the image, you see these points we have a lot of lost edges because of the darkness of the form. Look at what I'll do now. Come here. See, what I'm mostly picking out there are dark. So it's not about where you are picking the color from. You know what you are painting. Look at what I'm doing now. I'm pushing in now because, like I said, that point is dark. You can see the darkness a little bit red here. I'm going to start coming in, filling the hair on the form. Still going to take this dark, push it in. You see how it's different, that beautiful edge just created for us right there. This edge here, this edge you are seeing here, just created a nice edge for us. So I'm still pushing my paint, still looking at what I'm painting. This phase of painting is what I call placeholder mode, sketch. Coming in now with the painting. Feel that dark. The ears is over there also, down there. I've not started adding the whole thing. We are not going to be painting the whole thing. Remember, we're trying to create a demo here, but at least you clearly understand my approach now when it comes to painting. And this is the way I paint. Feel how the light, see how the light hits this point here. I'm going to come in here and add that light. Feel the neck, the face. Feel how the light touch the whole point there. Feel the light here. This point is hard to tell where it ends and where it begins. So there's a lost edge here also. Though it's not dark, there's lost edge here. So feel that form. Coming over here now. Feeling how bright it is. Feeling the points. So already you can see how the painting starts to read. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to just cover the whole form because of time, so you get to see how it all reads. Coming down here, feel that red. See how her face is tight because of the makeup. Come down here, show her jaws. This point where the necklace flows. So with this already, you can already see my approach. It has nothing to do with just picking from a point in the color wheel. No, you think about values. You think about what you are painting. Paint what you see. That top point needs to be dark, like I said. See a lot of green here also. Dark green over here. Fill this up. So push this. Blend that to show that we can't see that point. Fill that dark. So from this you already get the whole idea, and you see how it's already starting to read. So I want us to go on our next objective. So you can already see the figure starting to pop out already. So very important. Values. It's the value is one of the most important things. You use value to guide your color choices. That is my approach. Don't be distracted with the range of color. It's like today in this our information age or digital age, let's say, because there's a lot of information out there, some people are overwhelmed. The idea is to select the kind of information you take in. So the same thing with color. In the olden times, there were limited colors, so how did they solve that issue? It's the same thing. You guide yourself in the kind of with values, so you know what you paint. Today also, guide yourself with values. Today we have a lot of digital courses, and we have concept artists all painting, and by the time they are done with their pieces, it all looks the same. That's wrong. It's because they are following the same methods. It's no longer seen as a tool. Everybody is creating different methods and saying everybody use this method or use that method. It should be a tool, and give the artists a freedom to express themselves. Warm and cool colors. If we look at the color wheel, already get that. I think it's easy from this point already. You can see colors surrounding this point. This is where the divide happens. We know when they talk about school, it has to do with this blue. So blue always signifies cool. So you can already see where the divide happen. And orange, red, yellow. So cool, warm. And you can play with it. I always say play with it. In other videos, I've made example where I say you can go crazy with the whole idea of warm and cool. Add colors in the warm area for something cool. Add colors in the cool area for something warm. Just play with the colors. Don't be realistic when you are painting cool. Know what you are painting, but it doesn't mean you should limit yourself. I've showed old paintings where I did stuff like that. So, but this is easily how you know where cool and warm colors reside. But always play with it. Always play with it. A red ball can be in a cool background, can be in a snow. Doesn't mean that it won't work. It will work. So it can be you can have a red color or a yellow color reflecting on the snow. So are you going to say, oh, it's cool, it shouldn't be done? No, you walk your way through that. Also, now balancing saturated and muted color. Let's talk about that. When we talk about saturation, it's intensity. So it still has to do with values. Everything relies on values. If you look at this painting we're working on, and this is the way I paint, if we want to continue working on the painting, and then I start adding these little details you see here. Saturation, intensity of a color. How do we play with the saturation? draw back, add in. If you want something to be really lit, you want the light of a particular form to come out, darken the area surrounding the form. You can see this color here is not the lightest. Look how further it is. Look how far it is from the lightest light. Look how further it is. If I wanted to add more light like I see here in the painting, I can easily do that when I reduce things. Now if I want it to show more now, areas surrounding that form, I can start going in and adding some toned color and you see it start popping out. I can come in and start bringing colors around it down, and what do you see start happening? It start popping out. So that is one thing with intensity. Doesn't have much to do with color picking. It has much to do with your intellectual knowledge regarding values. So think about that. You can see how it's popped out now. So I can now easily come in and add just little touches and it will pop out. So if we zoom in, you can see how it's already out there. So take note of that. Look at the jewelry. You can see how Sargent made it shine. And how did he do that? You have light on top of dark. We have our dark here. See these darks I added here. So if we want to create our own sparkle, we can do that. Lights, small like this color on top of dark. You can see how it's popping out now. It's showing that its jewelry is shining and it's coming out. So take note of that. Saturation, muted colors, that is how you play with it. You have a place that is dull and you want it to pop, add some dark colors around it. You want a place to feel warm, add some cool colors around it to highlight that warmthness. So take note of that. It's very, very important. Choosing color that work well all reside in knowing value. What is value? The darkness and lightness of a form. That is how I'm able to paint things I see outside. I'm thinking about the lightness and darkness of the form. It's comparison. You are looking at this point to that point. First, you go with big shape sketch fundamental. Now, when it comes to painting the colors, that is the values. It's very, very important. The same thing in sketching. There is no difference between that and sketching. Remember what we always say: 2D art going to 3D it all has to do with the light affecting that form. So take note of that. How lighting affects color decision. Like the image you see here that we are working on. How did Sargent make us feel like the figure we are looking at is lit? The colors you add, you can look at this my color here, the image here. These little lights I added here, the facial lights, are stronger than these other forms here. Though if we look at them in general, we know this form as a whole pops out already, just like the painting we're working on. This form as a whole is popping out already. So then how do we make things inside the form pop out more? It's the same thing we talked about, and colors or hues around it, we tone it down. So the same thing, if you look in this Sargent's reference, look at the colors surrounding these other colors. This is strong, but how did he make these points, tip of the nose, these points, the jaw, how did he make it light? By toning this down. And how do you do that? Mix some colors with, let me give you an example. We have this color here, and then this is the same color, but if I add a little dark here and we mix it. It's the same color, but if we bring this color, I'm going to grab the lasso tool now and I'm going to pick this. If I bring it on top of this and I reduce it, you see how it reads on top of it. It's brighter than the color underneath. So that's how you do it. I remember when I started, I used to mix the colors like this. I will not pick it from the color wheel. I'll mix it like down here like this, and then I'll paint on a box like this. This was when I started, so it's the same thing, but these days I pick from the color wheel because this color, every color you will create by mixing is already available in the color wheel. So you just need to understand this color. If we pick the color we mixed, that is the color there. So work with those colors, understand them, and all these things you can achieve by practicing. Everything, you just have to practice it. It's very, very important. And that is how you work with light. How strong the light is, whether it's ambient light, everywhere is lit, the same thing. That's how you get to define the form. So you have seen how I work, you have seen how I do it. Take it with you, practice. The only way you can get it done is by practicing. There is no other way to do this. I hope you've learned something from this video. If you have any question, drop it in the comment box. If you have any question regarding any other art topic, drop it in the comment box and I'll respond to you. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.